So guess what I forgot to do again? Charge my camera. So I'm just gonna get right into this. And this week we have got a milk stout, or I guess it's just called milk stout Nitro, which I thought Nitro was just some fancy name of this beer, but apparently it's got to do with like chemistry and stuff or something, because normally beers are carbonated with CO2, but these certain ones are carbonated with nitrogen instead. So apparently it's supposed to be less big bubbles and more tiny ones, and it's supposed to be smoother and just all around nicer for some people, if you like that. This is from Left Hand Brewing Company. Apparently it was founded in 1993, and it started off because I think this brother, correct me if I'm wrong, but this guy got a gift from his brother for like Christmas or something one year of a do-it-yourself at-home beer making kit or something like that, and it kind of just took off. Apparently he said it was all downhill from there, but I didn't really like read all of the background on it. I just kind of skimmed it. But yeah, it started with him just getting like a Christmas gift or something like that, and it turned into an entire brewing company from Colorado. And the Left Hand, it was named that because where they lived or whereabouts in that area, there was this Native American chief whose name was Left Hand. Obviously in his language it was Left Hand, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'll just like. So apparently it is a hard pour. You're supposed to hard pour it, which in case you don't know what that means, it is when you literally just tip the bottle directly upside down and let it pour, instead of, you know, just carefully tipping it or whatever. But because you're supposed to hard pour it, you're supposed to have a big enough glass to where it'll have plenty of room to foam up. I don't think this glass is big enough, so we might not completely, you know what I'm saying? Here we go, peeps. Whoa, check that out. Oh, it's cascading. Whoa. I've never seen that happen. Whoa, that's cool. So it is cascading. It's getting a nice big head on top. It's pretty beautiful, I gotta say. Spilled it on my hand, but you know, we can't all be perfect. There we go. Smells really good. All right, check that out, guys. Oh man, it smells like coffee and chocolate. It smells like it's gonna be good. Gosh, look how much foam is still in the bottom of that. Look at that. So yeah, first smell is delicious. First impression is the flavor is very good, but for me, I think I kind of like the bigger bubbles of normal beer just because I love carbonation. I think I mentioned this in the last video, but I love carbonation. So I wasn't sure how this was gonna be and how I would like it, but first taste, I feel like I like regular CO2 carbonated alcoholic beverage. I can definitely see what they mean when they say that it's smoother. It is, it's very smooth, but it's smooth to the point that it doesn't feel like there's any kind of carbonation whatsoever. So flavor-wise, it's good. Not my favorite. I do tend to like lighter beers, not light beer necessarily, but just lighter, like more of a lager, not a stout. But it's nice to have a stout once in a while, so it's still good. All right, well, while we continue drinking this, can I put this up here? I feel like it's gonna, actually, yeah, it's up there pretty good. Okay. It's time for those stories. Some drunk stories from the internet, or drinking stories from the internet. Okay. I don't really read these ahead of time. I just kind of look for some that look like they're gonna be a good story, especially if they're a long one, and I just screenshot it. So, One night, my girlfriend and I were in separate cars because she had to go to some sort of bridal tea for one of her friends. Her phone dies, so I end up going out with some friends. She ends up showing up at the bar we're at after a while. Not a big deal, nor nothing unexpected. But now we're together and we have 2 cars, and it's just not practical. So my roommate is also there. I approach him. Hey man, you mind driving my car back home? Chelsea just got here and we're going to just take her car back home. He says, sure. You getting food before? Yeah, we're gonna run across to Waffle House first. He says, cool. You mind getting me an all-star breakfast? And he's taking care of my car for me so I can be with my boo thing. I hate when people say that. So I oblige. What else are friends for? Well, we get to the Waffle House. The service is terrible. I actually ordered 2 all-star breakfasts, which if you don't know what that is, it's like bacon, eggs, grits, toast, and a waffle for under $7. 1 to go, and 1 for me and my girlfriend to split. Half of the dine-in order never came, neither did our waiters before the guy was asking us if we would like our check. I explained that I would prefer to just pay for what is on the table, cancel the remainder of the order, and GTFO. It's been like 45 minutes already. The waiter felt bad and being the stand-up fellow that he was, decided to comp everything. That's nice. Not trying to take advantage of his generosity, I decided it's best to leave without the second all-star breakfast. So we head home. My girlfriend and I are stumbling up the stairs. Halfway up, I hear all-star breakfast screamed from my roommate's room. So now I'm thinking, I'm going to explain why I don't have his all-star breakfast. As I get to the top of the stairs, I see that his door is ajar and another blaring all-star breakfast penetrates my ears. So I push open his door and begin my explanation. Dude, I'm so sorry. What the f***? He tossed a comforter over the top half of a chick riding him cowgirl style, but he does not cease his sexual endeavor. He says, what's up, dude? Where's my all-star breakfast? I try blocking the coitus with an open hand as I attempt to look him in the eye and explain why I did not have it. All I manage is, dude, it's fine. All-star breakfast? Dude, we couldn't get it. We had terrible service. All-star breakfast. Dude, I'm sorry, we couldn't get it. It was awful. They didn't even make us pay. And being the sweetheart that she is, my girlfriend tries to intervene. She enters the room. Yeah, Sean, the service was just, oh, what the f***? All-star breakfast? I tell her, it's fine, babe, let's just go to bed. And I take her by the shoulder and turn her body around back towards the door and we proceed out. She offers one further bit of wisdom over her shoulder as we exit. Then we go to bed. He hates it when we tell that one, but it's just too good to not tell. The girl ended up being some chick he worked with. She quit the next day. Never heard from her again. This is pretty and all, and it cascades and it stays foamy and wonderfully smooth, but honestly, I'd rather have a crappy tasting, really carbonated beer because I like the carbonation. It just seems like I'm drinking a flat beer and I don't like that. The taste is fine. The carbonation is a big deal to me. So if you don't like flat beer, maybe don't drink that. The first time I mixed tequila and whiskey, me and my drinking mate, who is 6 inches taller and has 100 pounds on me, start wrestling. I think we were watching UFC or something. Anyway, he gets me in a bad guillotine choke. It was bad because he had my jaw in there. Afterwards, I had a case of TMG. Parentheses, couldn't open my mouth much. That lasted for a couple of months. Afterwards, my jaw clicked anytime I opened it. Fast forward a few years, and there we are mixing tequila and whiskey again. I asked him to punch me in the face, and he obliged. He knocked me the out. However, he fixed my jaw. It doesn't bug me at all anymore. What a wonderful story, you know? 2 best friends just living life together, you know what I'm saying? A few years ago on New Year's Eve, my friend, who we'll call M, got tits shattered. She made that phrase up that night after having such fun adventures as telling the guy with his out that she's seen better. And falling off the toilet and into the shower, I decided it was time to take her drunk home. My dad lived about 3 miles away, so after stuffing her into the car, I brought her on over and deposited her into the first available room with a bed. I go into the kitchen to get her some good old H2O when I hear, Aileen, Aileen, Em is taking her clothes off. I go to the back of the house, and sure enough, Em has somehow gotten her dress off but is tangled up in her tights, and lo and behold, she's got no underwear on. My poor father is facing the wall in the opposite direction and is the reddest I have ever seen him. Anyways, I get Em all situated and go out to find my dad. He just looks at me and says, we shall never speak of this again. And it was so. My girlfriend at the time got completely smashed by trying to play some catch up. She showed up 2 hours later than everyone else and decided chugging some Smirnoff would be the best way to catch up. Yada yada yada, and I end up taking her home to try to sleep it off. She has some water and insists she is fine laying in bed. Well, I figure she's asleep and safe, so I drunkenly go downstairs to make some 3 a.m. mac and cheese. I come upstairs about 20 minutes later to find my bed empty and the bathroom light on and the door closed. So I knock a few times and call her name, but get no response. Worrying, I open the door and I'm greeted by the worst stench I've ever experienced. Turns out she had went to puke in the toilet and ended up passing out and all over the floor and herself. So I had to man up and clean her up and put her back into bed. The next morning she asked about it, and I didn't say much other than the puking side of things, and that was the end of that. I don't like the no carbonation. The flavor's fine. No carbonation is not fine. It's not fine. After a lovely Italian banquet, dressed semi-formally, my best friend, her brother, and his girlfriend and I decided to continue drinking at our local watering hole. My friend ate tripe and God only knows what else, and upon arriving at the bar, announces she needs to go, except it's like a high school reunion in there, and she refuses to poop in a small 2-stall, extremely crowded bathroom. I understand. I mean, unless you're drunk. So we head back outside and she finds an alley and proceeds to liquid a mere 20 feet from the bar with me on watch out. All's better and she's finished up when a gust of hot wind comes from behind her and takes a stank of poo directly into my face. I immediately vomited. We both don't like to talk about it. That's not good. Oh shoot, my battery is blinking. So this is the last one for the night. 20 years old, let friends stay at the house after a party, continue drinking into the night, go to bed, wake up next day, go into the living room where I had 3 friends sleeping. Poop everywhere. What's with this poop stuff? Poop! Flip my shit. Friend crawling on floor grabs my leg. I'm redditing. Who on me? He's covered in shit. His pants across the room on the floor, poop larger than I've ever seen in them, and a smear trail leading away. He denies it even today. He was a big guy, and the amount of poop was devastating. I had to replace furniture. Oh my God. I guess this was the story of poops. Anyway, since my battery is blinking, I hope you enjoyed this beer time with Betsy. I did not really enjoy the beer. I started off enjoying it, but the no carbonation really brought me down, man. I like carbonation. I have to have carbonation in my beer because then it's just flat. I can drink warm beer if it's carbonated, but an ice cold flat beer, I still don't like it. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed, please give the video a like and feel free to leave me like some drinking story comments because maybe I might even include them in a future video. You never know, if I get enough of them anyway. This was not that good. The flavor, fine. It was fine. Look at all that foam, man. See you next time. Good night, YouTube.